incredible celebration of God's love for us in our Chrism Mass. A warm welcome to all of you once again as we gather to celebrate our ministries in our parishes and institutions in the Diocese of Monterey. I often ponder how very significant this Mass is for us in this diocese and for the Universal Church, for all of us gifted by our call by God in so many different ways in serving God's people. Muy frecuentemente pienso yo que tan importante es esta Santa Misa, no nomás para nosotros aquí en esta diócesis de Monterey, pero en la Iglesia Universal. Es una misa en que nosotros, sacerdotes, obispos, diáconos, y todos ustedes también van a renovar esas promesas de nuestro llamado. All of us called by our God to holiness and to also exercise a ministry of some sort in ministering and serving God's people. I welcome all of you, our dear faithful brothers and sisters from our parishes and institutions. A very special and warm welcome to our brother priests who are here as we renew our promises, with Bishop Brian also. And in this year of consecrated life, I want to especially note the presence of so many of our religious in this diocese. Sister Gloria Loya, our new vicar for religious in the diocese, counted the religious that we have. We have 166 religious men and women in this diocese. So a very special welcome to all of you, our religious who are here. Thank you to our sisters who are here. I see our brothers from the Malvalese community in Big Sur. Thank you for coming so far on that very windy road. And a very special warm welcome to our seminarians as well. We're very gifted to have so many seminarians right now in our diocese. We had breakfast this morning together and enjoyed that time very much. We will be ordaining 4 new men at the end of May for our diocese. What a gift they are to us. Qué emoción tener estos seminaristas también con nosotros en este día y siempre. My sisters and my brothers, this is the 9th time that I am blessed to celebrate a Chrism Mass. 1 year in my former diocese of Sacramento, when my boss there, Bishop Regan, was recovering from his liver surgery. And now 8 years here with you. And what a blessing these 8 years have been. I feel in many ways I'm still learning to get to know you and our beautiful diocese. This Mass, our Chrism Mass, never gets old, but always gives us, I believe, an impetus to consider how to serve more fully and more lovingly, with humility and gratitude to our God who accompanies us. Our last 2 Holy Fathers have taught us a great example also by their own life and by their ministry. They're asking us to be missionary disciples. I've pondered that term quite often since I heard it from our Holy Fathers. And I was thinking, missionaries. Well, we're all in one diocese here. And yet many of us have come from other places, including myself. We've all learned to appreciate the people and the wonderful opportunities we have in this beautiful diocese. But we also are to share that by learning more. A disciple is one who is learning. Y cada uno de nosotros también tenemos que aprender mucho más para recibir a nuestro pueblo y también a nuestros hermanos y hermanas en nuestras comunidades. Back in 1983, the Latin American theologian Gustavo Gutierrez wrote a beautiful book. The title of it was, We Drink from Our Own Wells. So I chose that to be our theme for this Chrism Mass this year, going to the well. And what do we find at the well of our God? In this very insightful book of Gustavo Gutierrez, he quotes Deuteronomy and says there that God is asking the people to show justice and mercy to one another and to enjoy the promised land together. So, as we learn as disciples, we have to show justice and mercy to one another, to enter the promised land of our future life with God. And he also quotes St. John, the evangelist, and says, on the last and greatest day of the feast, Jesus stood up and exclaimed, "Let anyone who thirsts come to me and drink, for whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow from within him or her." Aguas de vida nueva en el Santísimo Dios. Gutierrez continues, spirituality is like a living water that springs up in the very depths of the experience of faith. To drink from your own well, he says, is to live in your own life, in the Spirit of Jesus, as you have encountered him in your concrete historical reality. What does that mean for you and for me? ¿Qué significa esto para nosotros? It means that each one of us has to be on a journey to the well, like the Samaritan woman, a journey there to encounter Christ ourselves, and to drink the waters that you like from that well. The Samaritan woman deepened her own spirituality with that profound depth of the time with Jesus. And we too are called to encounter Jesus at the well, to spend time there, quietly reflecting upon the goodness of Jesus in our lives and hearts. That will take us to a very deep spiritual well, where we can find the truth that will set us free. Ahí en ese pozo vamos a encontrar a Jesucristo también en lo más profundo de nuestra vida con Él. Blessed Teresa of Calcutta, I believe soon to be a saint as well, also recognized the importance of the well of life, when she chose to have 2 words placed by the side of the tabernacle in each of her convent chapels. Those 2 words are, I thirst, tengo sed. There have been many books written about those 2 words and Mother Teresa. For we do thirst for Jesus, and he's thirsting for us. He wants us to be closer to him, to go to that well of our lives and to find him. A little bit later, we're going to sing a beautiful song, and I thank Sister Barbara. She spent probably 2 years looking for this song. But she found one, and I'm so deeply grateful to you, Sister Barbara, for all that you do. But some of the lyrics of what we'll be singing, at least the choir will be singing, are these words. There is a well for those who are thirsty, for those who are desperate, for the broken and the poor, where those who drink from the waters beneath them, they shall live always and thirst no more. There is a well for those who are restless, longing for mercy, creation restored, where those who drink from the waters beneath them, they shall live always and thirst no more. Dice esta canción, un pozo hay que ayuda al sediento, al desamparado, que sufre dolor, y al tomar de las aguas que brotan, vida se encuentra, sed nunca más. Un pozo hay que al mundo restaura y da esperanza, justicia y paz, y al tomar de las aguas que brotan, vida se encuentra, sed nunca más. For there we will thirst no more. Sí, sed nunca más. Recently, one of my favorite authors, Father Ronald Rollheiser, who speaks quite often at the Los Angeles Congress, and my father, wrote in this article, Chrism, the Trappist abbot, was martyred in Algeria in 1996, and was very fond of sharing this story. He had a very close Muslim friend named Mohammed, and the 2 of them used to pray together, even as they remained aware of their differences, one being Muslim and the other Christian. Aware too that certain schools of thought, both Muslim and Christian, warned against this type of prayer out of a sense that the various faiths in praying to the same God, the two of them didn't call their sessions together prayer. Rather, they imagined themselves as digging a well. Digging a well. One day a Christian asked Muhammad, when we get to the bottom of the well, what will we find? Muhammad, half amused but still deadly serious, replied, come on now. We spent all this time walking together, going to our wells and praying, and you're still asking me this question? You should know that at the bottom of that well, what we'll find is God's word. Aguas de Dios. So, my dear friends, all my brothers and sisters, let us walk the way and drink from the one source, the well of living water awaiting us, where we find God and quench our spiritual thirst. For God will find us there, and we will find God there. Gustavo Gutierrez closed his book with these beautiful words. Spirituality is a community enterprise. It is the passage of the people through the solitude and dangers of the desert, like the desert of Lent that we've been through, as it carves out its own way in following Jesus Christ. The spiritual experience is the well from which we must drink. From it we draw the promise of resurrection and hope and new life. So, my sisters and my brothers, may God bless us all at the well of life, to humbly serve as missionary disciples as we drink from our own wells, leading us closer to drink from the one well that unites us all in God's love. God bless you all. Was that too long, Jim? Tell me later.